everyone, and welcome back to the Manufacturer Series. This is pre-season number 1, round number 2 in 2019, and we're at Fuji in the Group 3 category, GT3 basically. Of course, we're with Audi, for all of 2019. As we approach the first corner now, Fuji can be argued as probably the Audi track in this game. Very, very quick car here. You know, it's got good straight line speed. Very good handling for that last sector. In the time trial mode, we did have rank 1 in EMEA. In fact, top 3 were held by Audi. And we managed to get that as well. So as you can see, first sector, we are purple. Silka tried to get in behind me here, get a bit of slipstream, try and get around the lap. Similar to what Lightning did in the first round, or first split that happened earlier on in this evening that we took the race in. That helped Lightning drastically get into, I think it was P2 in qualifying, and came away with the victory as well, so well played to Lightning for that one. So Silka tried to do the same, just dropped off a little bit. Obviously that Nissan GTR, very, very sketchy car in terms of handling, and as you can see, we're half a second up at this point, nearly 6 tenths up on a 37.0, so we know we're on for a good lap. Now, best laps in practice have been 0.3s, 36.3s, we've had a few of those, we've had a few 0.4s. Weirdly, we couldn't even get in the 36s in the last lobby, but in this one, we appear to be on the ball. So as we come around this corner here, just a bit of oversteer there. We've had a few mistakes in this lap. I do believe probably a very, very low 36 is possible. Potentially even a 35.9 with a little bit of slipstream on the straight. But even so, I can't complain with this lap. We were still half a second up there. So as we approach the line, what kind of lap time are we going to get? Jomas there with a cracking 36.9 there in that Dodge. Not the greatest car at the moment with this balanced performance. But what are we going to get here with 1 lap pace? It's a 36.4. A pretty good lap, to be fair. I'd say there was more in that, easily more in that. I reckon a very, very low 36, if not a 35.9 is possible. So at least we start in P1. Which I'm very happy about. You can see the Astons running very strong here. The Astons appear to be rocket ships lately. I have no idea what's up with them. Well, let's go through this grid now. There's me, P1. Happy days. 2 tenths behind is Adam in P2 in the Aston. Jomas did very well in that Dodge, P3. Now look at that time. 36.9, 37.0. Watch that time. It doesn't go up very much. Allegra P5. Carl Williams. Look at that. Still in the 0.0s, P6. Still 0.0s, P7. Key in P8 on a 0.1. Only just a 0.1. In Koke P9. This is like less than 2 tenths so far. TG10 get P10. Matty P11. Point. Unbelievable grid. Sky Pickman in P12 there. P13 for Sutsu. 14 for Skiller. 15 for GT Alex there. And then SVDR in P16, that Beetle. That probably won't be good here. Adam in P17. That's a surprise with Felix then in P18. So I suppose one of the significant things that I want to point out straight away is you heard me there say about 36.9 to basically 37.1. That's less than 2 tenths, covering a huge amount of drivers. So anyone questioning the fuel burning tactic, which we did do in quali, we only had 1 run, we fuel burned most of it. That is the significance of it here. But let's get on with the racing. You can see Adam closing up very quickly. As I say, that Aston is like a rocket ship at the moment. I don't know what they've done to it, but it absolutely fires off the line. So we go defensive, go into this first corner. We both run slightly wide here. I'm not sure whether Adam outbroke himself as well, or just had to basically try and stay on the track with me, sort of not pushing him out wide, but obviously running him out wide a little bit there. But we keep the position with that driving, so still in P1 as we come into this handling section. My goal here on this first lap is to break away from Adam as fast as I possibly can. Knowing that Aston is so quick, I need to make sure I get away. Now, my Twitter is in the bottom left, by the way, if you're very interested. It's also in the description, as is the live stream if you want to watch the full race, as of course this is the highlights. But yes, I was trying to get away from Adam as quick as possible. Now, slipstream gap is about, it was the end of the 0.7s. It's 0.750, I think. But, you know, if I get 0.8 or higher, I know Adam's not in the slipstream, and therefore I can keep the position on the straight. So there we go. We were up to 0.4, just going through that chicane. 0.3 now. So we really need to break away as much as we can. And this is where the Audi will be stronger than the Aston in this part of the circuit, because it's handling. And FR cars aren't as good at handling as MR cars. So we come around here. We try and accelerate as fast as we can. 0.5 there. Adam also loses a rear end there. Just so that TV camera there. Up to 0.6, but it's not quite the 0.8 that we wanted. So just leaving this corner now. 0.6, I go to try and break that slipstream straight away. Try and gain an advantage a little bit here, but look at that Aston close in. Look at it. I swear it's got nitrous or something. 0.4. 0.3. And this Audi isn't slow either. 0.3. Look at him come. It's unbelievable. So I go to the left because I think, okay, he's going to have me here, irrespective. And I'm not going to defend it too hard here. I don't want to lose time. So Adam goes for that move down the inside. Good move. Gets it stopped on the apex. Through he goes. We don't lose a significant amount of time here either. So I'm thinking, okay, let's try and get a bit of slipstream here. Let's use Adam's slipstream for a while and then potentially overtake later on. Because I'm assuming here that the Aston tyres are going to be worse than mine, especially on the front tyres. And obviously in the handling section, you need that front end grip to get around the corners. But even so, let's find out what happens later on. We've got Jomas in P3 there. I'm not so worried about Jomas's top end speed in that Dodge because it doesn't have any. Even though it probably should, being a Dodge Viper and having a V10 and its FR, it should be in a similar situation to this Aston, but it's not, unfortunately. Well, unfortunately for Jomas, fortunately for us. But you can see we're right behind Adam here, just coming into here. Can't get the car turned in there that much, so we have to stop on the apex quite a lot. We lose a little bit of time there, probably half a second or so, as we then come into this right-hander. So now our goal is to make sure we stay in this slipstream. That was the goal at the start of the lap when we let Adam by, basically, without defending too much. So let's see what happens here. Through the left we go. And then we'll continue up to this right-hander. So we need to take this quite tight if we can. As you see, we take it tighter than Adam. And that's just to remain in this slipstream. Accelerate out as fast as we can. Adam just gets a little bit on that curve there as we accelerate out now. And Adam not breaking away from that slipstream. We're just in it. And I mean only just. But compared to the Aston, we can't catch up that quick. And you can tell we're in the slipstream actually, because Jomas is only catching up to us a tiny little bit. We just move out there. Adam does the sneaky tactic that I did mention in the driving school. You know, the drivers relax at this point halfway down the straight. Break away from it a little bit, they lose that slipstream for a lot longer than potentially at the start of the straight. Going through here, happy days, we're still in P2, we've got training cars behind us, we have the Dodge Viper of Jomas, Aston Martin of Matu and Aston Martin of Legner as well. So let's advance a bit further on. It's P4, it's lap 4 now, we're not in P4, thank goodness for that. We're still behind Adam, and I noticed in this first stint that Adam is starting to struggle on his tyres a little bit. Not sure why, but he was starting to struggle, so I'm thinking, okay, this leaves us in a good place for that second stint. So when we come in at the end of lap 5, which is of course halfway in an 11-lap race, we can hopefully then keep with Adam again with the slipstream and then battle on the last lap. That was my goal. I didn't want to battle too much because Fuji, or a lot of battles on Fuji, tend to end up slowing each other down massively. And if I do that, there's 2 more Astons right behind me with Jomas in that Dodge. Anything can happen, and Ed's in there in his Mercedes as well, always doing well in that AMG Mercedes is Ed. So we head towards the start finish line. You can see the slipstream. So remember, the Aston was 6 tenths behind me and caught up to me by the end of this straight. We were 4 tenths there, and look at this, we're not getting half as much. We are getting there slowly but surely, slowly but surely, slowly but surely, slowly but surely. Braking zone. I couldn't do anything more there. That was literally the limit. So the Aston has a good 2 tenths more pace than us on the straights there. It's quite incredible, really. Well, with the slipstream, that is. Outside the slipstream, the Aston struggles a little bit top end, but it's still very fast to get near that top end. Very, very fast. So you can see Jomas has lost 2 positions there on the straight there. Matu in P3 and Legner in P4. I'm in an Aston Martin sandwich at this point. So you can tell that Aston is probably the car to go for this race, just with that speed that it's got. It's quite incredible, of course. So we continue on out of there. Maybe it's because they're world champions. They've given it a secret buff. I don't know. Answers on a postcard. So we're going to head now towards the last sector again. We'll watch Adam, see if he struggles anywhere. Again, this is what we're doing on the live stream. You can watch it on the live stream. We're looking for weaknesses. Where is Adam weak? Where are we strong? Where can we get an advantage? We do that much better than we did earlier on. So half a second down on Adam at this point. Into the right-hander we go. Absolutely no problems at the moment. Ooh, the rear we got a little bit twitchy there, but we're having to be careful. I mean, look at the tyre wear as well. The tyre wear is another massive problem in this game at the moment. PD, if you're watching, it is not fun, this tyre wear. It is literally not fun. Turn it down, do something else to make strategies work. You can see there we're going tight again. This is just to try and remain in the slipstream. So we're going to come in the pits, we're going to come in hot. Now, there is the pit glitch, and it happens on all tracks. It's not just Fuji, but obviously Fuji it's really easy to handle. You just fly in, make sure you tap the barrier. Now, I've learned, and you guys told me to do this as well, to always, you know, if there's a possibility of everybody using a glitch, use it. So, we hit the barrier there, we then leave the pits, and we actually jump ahead of Adam. So that's the pit glitch in a nutshell. It basically gives you 2 seconds advantage, something like that. You know, we weren't that far behind Adam, and Adam's come out 5 tenths behind me. So, you know, it's an advantage. So what I said, I even said it on stream, is that I will give Adam the position back. Adam's not used it, I've used it, that's an unfair advantage. Jomas accidentally used it and gained 2 positions. Jomas was also going to give it back. you know, we were giving it back. And as I say, I did it just in case Adam did it. You know, if Adam skimmed the barrier and gained 2 seconds, that's not fair on me. If the other guys behind me did it and then I didn't do it, you know, I'm at a disadvantage. It's the exact same as the slowdown glitch a while ago, where some people were doing it, some weren't. So some of the guys were losing out for no reason whatsoever. So everybody then started doing it. So I went in with that same mindset. At this situation, I was like, okay, Adam's lost out here. So I whack my hazards on, and you'll see that now. That's to let Adam know you can go by. I'm not going to defend this. I will let off. I'll even let you take the race in line, basically. This is all for Adam. So as you see, you're not defending it. I'm going to start dabbing the brakes a little bit there. There you can see I'm just dabbing the brakes. Let Adam go. I want him to take the race in line. I don't want to lose as much time as possible because of this. And I let him back over, and then happy days. We're back around about where we should be again, and we can continue racing. Of course, that first lap, we're always going to be quicker than the guys behind. The Audi on 1 lap pace with fresh tyres is probably the quickest car round here. Obviously, when tyre wear then starts to play, because it does have understeer, this Audi. It's why people can't drive it, because it has understeer. Then you overturn the car, and then you get snap oversteer. It's why people struggle with it. So you're going to see that understeer later on, and we're on -5 brakes, which is of course all the way to the front, and that's just to help with the rear tyres, because of course the tyres do slide around a bit. The weight's all over the back end as well, so obviously more tyre wear back there, but we're about the same gaps as what we were, so you know, no harm, no foul. We didn't lose out there, and nobody then benefited from it, so all happy days. Oh, big shout out to Saskilla, by the way, coming out the pits. We're busy talking about the pit glitch. You know, gave me room there on the inside, very well aware, so, you know, fair play to that guy. Just, you know, it's very hard when you come out the Fuji pit lane to spot other people, so you can, like, if you're firing down the straight, you can misinterpret where the other person is. Some of the pit guys can overshoot, but you know, it's all fair play, so you know, shout out to that guy. As you can see, we're behind Adam still, and we're just in that slipstream, only just, you know, by the smallest of margins here, and this is actually keeping us away from those Aston Martins behind and the Dodge of Jomas. I think the Aston Martins do get by on this lap, but what we're going to do, we're just going to jump later on, and you can see Adam's actually moved that gap from 6 tenths to 1.4 second gap. So Adam really had the pace in the second stint. He wasn't losing out on tyres or anything like that. So at this point, you can have a look at my tyres. Look at that front left tyre. Boom! My rear tyres had handled themselves really well. I was actually surprised in this race. The second stint, because I could have gone probably to -3 on the brakes, and I would have been absolutely fine. I wasn't used to the rear tyres being that good, as it just drops a significant amount there. But my front tyres were toast. They were toast in every practice session I ever did. Just because, as I say, this Audi does understeer, but then it snap oversteers very easily. And that's kind of why people find it hard to drive. It's very good at spinning the rear wheels up, which is why it's good at time trial, hot lapping, you know, you rotate the car and stuff like that. But yeah, in a race, it gets very difficult. So you can see Adam there, really, he has to make a mistake. That's all we're hoping for here. Got a leg net in P3 there, another Aston. So we're in that Aston sandwich. And then Carl Williams there, Ed in that AMG. If you wonder where Matthew is, Matthew outbroke himself into turn 1. So went firing off. He did well actually to avoid, I can't remember who it was. It might have been a leg net, it might have been Jomas even. He basically outbroke himself. And basically threaded the needle into a gap and off the circuit. So, you know, shout out to Matthew there for trying to avoid everybody as well. So we leave at that last corner. Adam has not made a mistake. In fact, he's increased that gap by another 3 tenths. So fair play, Adam. We're going to get P2 here. So happy days, we'll take that. We nearly got beat by a second split person again. Coming P2 in the top split. Madness. But we do come away with 2.8k points. Finally a good result for Audi. Should have had it in the round 1, to be honest, but even so, we'll take that. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure you like it if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it. There's a video playlist there if you want to watch another one. But and my log's there if you want to subscribe. But that's it for me for now. Thanks very much for watching. I will see you in the next video.